News Kids on the Block. We bring to you stories that top the nation's papers. Fresh from the IVM and Ascended International School Desk. Hi, I'm Kavya.
And I'm Trivik, and welcome to another episode of News Kids on the Block. Sadly, Anya couldn't join us today due to some issues regarding traffic, but we won't let that keep us down. Let's kick off with this week's episode.
The first story we have for you today is about India that is all set to celebrate its 75th Independence Day this Monday on the 15th of August. The government is organizing many events under the Azadi Ka Amritsav, which is an initiative to celebrate and commemorate India's 75 years of independence and its history, its culture, its citizens, and just the country in general. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the official website of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav said, and I quote, "The Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav means elixir of energy of independence, elixir of inspirations of the warriors of the freedom struggle, elixir of new ideas and pledges, and the elixir of Atma Nirbharta. Therefore, this Mahotsav is a festival of the awakening of the nation, the festival of fulfilling the dream of good governance, and the festival of global peace and development." The government has also launched the Har Ghar Tiranga campaign, which basically aims to get an Indian flag on each building or each house. I think this is really, it's a small deal, right? For everyone to go out and get one flag for their building or one flag for their house. It's not that big of a deal. But when it all comes together, when you see it as a big picture, it's something that not only boosts a sense of patriotism, but a sense of unity. When everyone's doing the same thing for their country, it just brings us all together. And I think it's such a beautiful gesture for someone to do. And I hope that, when I've been walking on the roads or going in my car, I just see Indian flags everywhere, and it warms my heart. So I think it's a really great idea. What about you, Trivik?
I personally also believe it is a brilliant idea, and I think that, again, it's a Trivik classic line I've said a lot of times, but it's a step forward, and that's really all we can hope for.
Yeah.
Our next story for you today is a little disheartening, maybe a lot disheartening. As a new report by the cybersecurity firm McAfee found that 85% of Indian children have been cyberbullied, which is the highest metric globally. According to the report, Indian children reported being cyberbullied, as well as having cyberbullied someone else at rates well over twice the international average. As more than 1 in 3 kids face cyber racism, sexual harassment, and threats of physical harm as early as at the age of 10, making India the #1 nation for reported cyberbullying in the world. And parents are displaying important gaps of knowledge around cyberbullying, but even more concerning, children aren't considering behaviors like jokes and name calling harmful online. And the report is based on a survey of over 11,500 parents and children between the ages of 10 to 18 across 10 countries, including the United States, United Kingdom, Germany, Canada, and India, among others. And I think reading this story is something that has definitely brought a frown to my face. Cyberbullying is a real problem, guys. It is no joke. I have firsthand seen the examples of the cyberbullying living in India, growing up with technology all my life. I have witnessed what the world is calling cyberbullying, and it is no joke. It is not to be taken lightly, and I really do hope that we can get these numbers down, because it is terrible what is happening out there on the internet.
I agree, Trivik, and I think that we're growing up in a generation where technology is such a big part of all of our lives, and it's so prevalent today that the opportunity for it to happen isn't going to decrease. It's something that people themselves have to stop doing. So I hope that we see a little bit of a change in the future. With that, we take a short break and we'll be right back on News Kids on the Block. Welcome back. You're listening to News Kids on the Block, and I will take us into our next story, which is about the Samudrayaan Mission that India launched in October of 2021, which basically is a mission to explore the deep seas further than any country or anyone has before. And it was launched in October, but it will soon start. In this mission, India is joining different countries such as the US, Russia, France, Japan, China, etc. to create technology that will be able to carry out exploration within the seas that hasn't been carried out before. And the specific goal of the mission is to develop a self-propelled manned submersible to carry 3 human beings to a water depth of 6,000 meters into the ocean to explore and to find out more about the ocean when it's that deep of a level. This technology has been developed indigenously, and it's known as the Matsya 6000. And I think this is in light of India celebrating its 75th Independence Day this Monday. I think this is just an example of how far we've come as a country and how much we've been able to achieve and how much we have left to do yet. But we're getting there, and the country is so full of talented young people and people that want to bring a change to the world. And we've been able to achieve so much in 75 years, and I only can imagine what we have left.
Thank you, Kavya. That was truly insightful. Our next story for you today comes out of southern France as the French firefighters are currently battling a monster wildfire near the city of Bordeaux. And more than 1,000 firefighters are engaged in this battle. And that has already destroyed nearly 7,000 hectare acres. This is roughly 17,300 acres of forest. And the raging blaze near the city of Bordeaux has gutted a number of homes and has also forced 10,000 residents to flee. One firefighter said, "It's not an ogre, it's a monster." And he told this to the France's RTL radio. And strong winds and high temperatures are also hampering this firefighting operation, aiding the fire in its journey across the European country. And President Emmanuel Macron announced that Austria, Germany, Greece, Poland, and Romania are coming to aid France in battling the blaze. And European solidarity at work, he tweeted. This more than 1,000 deaths have been attributed to the heat in Portugal and Spain. This summer, France and a number of other European countries have seen wave of deadly wildfires triggered by record temperatures and droughts across the continent. We a couple episodes ago we talked about the insane temperatures which took place in the United Kingdom. It was reaching all-time highs, and now the wildfires in France. It looks like Europe is really going through a heat wave right now, and I think that we should pray that everyone stays safe and give the best to families impacted by the wildfires raging in France. And with that, we will take a short break. Welcome back to News Kids on the Block. I'm your co-host today. I'm Trivik Hariharan, and I'm going to pass it back to Kavya for our next story of the day.
Thank you, Trivik. The next story I have for you is yet another patriotic story, but it is also a sports story. This story is a roundup of the 2022 Commonwealth Games that just got over. India did extremely well this year. They finished at fourth position with a total of 61 medals, 22 gold, 16 silver, and 23 bronze medals. Some highlights from the winners were the expected PV Sindhu, who won her first singles Commonwealth Games gold medal of her career in badminton. She said that the upcoming world championships are her focus now, but I'm sure she's gained a lot of confidence from winning this gold medal. The Indian hockey team's dream was unfortunately ended by the Australian team. However, they left with a silver, which is something that you still should be very, very proud of, and we are very proud of them for. The Indian badminton doubles pair, Chirag Shetty and Satvik Sairaj Ranki Reddy, won a gold medal for India in the men's doubles in badminton. And of course, our Olympic silver medalist of 2020 Tokyo Olympics, Mirabai Chanu, won a gold medal as well. Even though I can't sit here and read each one of their names, we don't have enough time for that, unfortunately. We are still so very proud of them, and they have done something very amazing for the country. And I think they must feel especially happy that they've done it so close to India's Independence Day. And yeah, we couldn't be prouder.
Thank you, Kavya. And now it's time for our last story for a little while, actually, but we'll get into that later. This is news that has been it saddened sports fans worldwide. It has certainly saddened me. And I'm not even the biggest fan of the sport. As tennis legend Serena Williams has announced her retirement from tennis, and she announced her retirement stating that she wanted to focus on her family in a truly heartwarming speech she delivered herself, writing that her nearly 5-year-old daughter wants to be an older sister. And she claims that this morning, my daughter Olympia, who turned 5 this month, and I were on the way to get her a new passport before a trip to Europe. We're in my car, and she's holding my phone using an interactive educational app she likes. The robot voice asks her, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" She doesn't know I'm listening, but I can hear the answer she whispers into the phone. She says, "I want to be a big sister." And I think at this moment, Serena realized that she wanted to give more of her time to her family. So she decided to step back from the sport she loves so much. And now she has recently announced her retirement. And she is married to the founder of Reddit, Alexis Ohanian. And let's just take a look at some of the achievements she's achieved. She has 73 career singles titles, 23 career doubles titles, and over $94 million. That's right, $94 million in career winnings. Her first major singles title came at the US Open in 1999 at age 17. And the next year, she won the first three Olympic doubles titles with her older sister, Venus Williams. She also won singles gold at the 2012 London Games. She's got many sponsorships from around the world, famous brands including Nintendo, Gucci, Nike, and she is truly an icon to not to sports people everywhere, and also women, young girls everywhere to get into sports, because she is assigned to people everywhere, really, that you can do it. No matter what, you can do it. And she has proved that time and time again. And it's really sad to see her retiring, but we all do wish the best for her.
Thanks, Trivik. I completely agree with you. I think she's done so much for women in sports, especially for women in tennis, and she's really paved the way for younger athletes to come. So yeah, we're all sad to see her go, but it doesn't diminish what she's done in the past.
I completely agree, but sadly, that is going to be our last story. And for a little while, as I had mentioned shortly earlier, news kids on the block are going to be taking a little break, just taking some time now, and are going
We'll be back soon,
we'll be back soon. But bon voyage for now.
and we'll see you in a bit.
Don't forget to do your homework.